last week, okay? But this week, we're going to be talking about handling stress during Corona. So how many of you have had extra work, like you've had to do more work than usual during the coronavirus? Raise your hands, okay? How many of you have had to spend extra time learning new kinds of technology in order to do some of your work during coronavirus? Yep, okay. And then how many of you just were higher levels of stress than normal during coronavirus? Higher levels of stress. We've experienced this, right? Okay. Yeah, I've experienced all of that. So I've been working more hours. I've spent countless hours learning more technology during this time, like insane amount of time trying to figure out technology, and my stress levels have been higher. I've taken some things out on my kids, on my wife, just snipping at people, and those are all signs that we're not doing practices of emotional health, right? Like those are signs sometimes that we're not taking time regularly to de-stress. And we need to do that on a regular basis. We need to de-stress. And basically what I haven't been doing is following my parents' instructions. And so when I was a teenager, my parents would tell me different things. They would tell me, hey, my dad would say, whenever there's bad weather, whenever there's ice on the roads are bad, slow down. He'd say, you don't get any extra points for getting there fast. Slow down. But did I listen as a teenager? No, I did not. So I remember driving out one night, and it was icy roads, and I was going down this hill, and I pumped the brakes to stop. There was a stop sign at the end of the hill, and I pumped my brakes, and nothing's happening. The brakes aren't catching. And so I literally just went down the hill and right off into a ditch on the other side of the road, into a nice fluffy snowbank. And I had a friend who lived out in the country where I went off into the ditch. I landed in between a tree and a fence post, no lie. This was in my mom's car. And a friend of mine lived out close to me, and I said, Teasdale, can you come get me? I'm stuck in a ditch. So he shows up with his truck. He shows up with a chain. He pulls me out of the ditch, and because I landed in a nice fluffy snowbank, there was no damage to the car, and I never had to say a word to my parents. They never knew about it. Oops. But now they do. There was another incident, another day where it was icy roads out, and for some reason me and my teenage friends wanted to go out and hang out and go downtown, into downtown, and I remember my mom saying, you don't need to go out today. The roads are not good. Like, you don't need to go out. And I was like, I'll be fine. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm going out anyway. I was defiant. And so we went out, and I was the driver, and all my friends are in the car. And we're going from one highway, getting onto another highway to go downtown, and it had one of those big looping ramps, you know what I'm talking about? And so we start going around this ramp, and all of a sudden my back end of the car starts fishtailing. And so I, do this, and it fishtails back the other way, and I do this, and it did that like 10 times, literally, back and forth, while all around this ramp, until I finally hit the straightway on the highway, and I was like, man, that was close. We could have so gone off the edge and into the ditch. And why didn't I listen to my mom? Like, she was right. I did not need to go out and drive on this stuff. Why don't we listen to our parents? We know that they're wise, and on this rest thing and on this stress thing, I haven't been listening to my Heavenly Father. I haven't been listening to my parent. And sometimes when you don't listen to your parents, bad things happen. Consequences happen when we don't listen. And so not only is God our Father, but He's also our Maker. And so do you think because He's the one who designed our bodies and our minds that He knows what we need to de-stress and rest our bodies and our minds?